Hey, I'm Jennifer Hurwitz, best-selling author of the books One Happy Divorce and Woulda, Coulda, Shoulda. I'm a relationship coach, a public speaker, and I'm the mom of two of the most kick-ass teenage boys around. Raw, authentic, and insightful, this podcast is a no-bullshit slice of reality for anyone curious about what it looks like to get divorced. On Doing Divorce Right, we'll give you the tools you'll need to navigate your relationships, whether you're contemplating divorce or have already signed the papers. We'll figure it out together without taking ourselves too seriously here on Doing Divorce Right podcast. The SoberLink system is designed to make parenting time safer with real-time remote alcohol monitoring. SoberLink uniquely combines a breathalyzer with wireless connectivity and is the only system that includes facial recognition, tamper detection, and advanced reporting. Parents can submit a test anytime, anywhere, thanks to SoberLink's wireless technology, which delivers test results by text message or email to the concerned parties. Simplify co-parenting arrangements by using the system that provides transparency and proof of sobriety throughout the day. Flexible schedules combined with real-time delivery of results make SoberLink the experts in remote alcohol monitoring technology. It's my pleasure to offer my listeners $50 off your device. Just email info@soberlink.com and mention Doing Divorce Right. But hurry, it's for a limited time only. Soberlink.com. Good morning. This is Doing Divorce Right. Hi, everybody. Welcome. It's Tuesday. Yay. I can't believe we're back today. I'm so lucky and so grateful to have my guest today. She's a dear friend of mine. I can say that, right, Claire? Can I say that?
Yes. Yeah.
A dear friend of mine and such a smart cookie. Claire Samuels is here today with us. Claire is a top family law attorney in Charlotte. And she was recently named as one of the best lawyers in America for 2021 Family Law and a Leader in Law by Lawyers Weekly. I didn't know that, Claire.
Thanks.
That's fantastic. Yeah. Her practice focuses on a wide range of matters involving the most personal and difficult legal issues affecting family life, child custody, child support, property division, and spousal support. Claire, please tell us what is going on. How are you, darling? What's happening?
I am doing great. Thanks so much for having me, Jen.
Oh, what an honor. What an honor. And what an amazing, look at that accolade. You got the best lawyers in America.
That was really cool. That was recent, and yeah, I'm proud of that.
That's
awesome.
It
is a peer review based thing. It's not a pay to play. It's something that your peers nominate you for. So it really means a lot to me, and I'm humbled and honored by that.
That needs to go on the top of your website, as far as I'm concerned. That's pretty amazing. That's just great. That's awesome. I didn't know that. That's bad. And then also, what else did you get here? Family Law, and you're a leader in law by Lawyers Weekly.
That was related to my philanthropy stuff.
Oh, okay.
That for last year, I served on 3 boards, which I loved, but I don't necessarily recommend doing 3 at the same time.
No.
If you want to stay married, if you want to stay married.
There we go. That's a hint.
It's tough.
Yeah. But you are married. You are married, right?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am married. Awesome. Yeah, I'm married, and we now have a rule that, it's like 1 or 2 boards at a time. But I love being involved in our community and doing that kind of work. So it was incredible to be able to serve that way, and then to be recognized for that work through Lawyers Weekly. So that's was really incredible. Cool.
Well, good for you, and congratulations. So tell us how where did this come from? Where did you start? Let's hear a story, a little bit of it.
Sure. So it's a little funny, a little embarrassing. My parents were big fans of Matlock. So no one in my family is a lawyer. In 3rd grade, I just started saying I wanted to be a lawyer. And
that early on, you knew.
Yeah. And I guess you get a lot of that. That seems like a good career path, right? So it just kind of stuck. But really, my mom and I were going into a department store, and we were living in Chicago, so I was probably in 6th grade at that point. And this man, grabbed what I assume was his wife and was just berating her in the parking lot. And I looked at my mom and said, when I'm grown up, I'm going to do something about that. I was just so troubled by that dynamic. And I think I've always had a passion for protecting people who can't protect themselves
Wow.
and protecting, children. And so I mean, I'm like getting choked up thinking about it. But
Yeah, me too.
that's where it really started for me. And my parents went through a pretty rough divorce, and that also got me thinking about not just being a lawyer and helping people, but specifically focusing on family law and wanting to see that process play out for families in a different way.
And how old were you when your parents got divorced? Can I ask?
Yeah, I was a senior in high school. I was
Wow. Okay.
going into my senior year in high school.
Okay. So it impacted you. So it's a great story. I didn't know your background.
Yeah. Thankfully, time really does and can heal wounds. Their divorce was not pleasant, but they can get along now. It's been 20 years.
Right.
More. So, but yeah, it was a tough time for our family. And I think that there weren't necessarily the methods and the tools that are out there now, or the awareness.
Right. Don't you feel that way? That now there are so many people and experts and resources that are available to us that were not available back then.
That's right. And I think that there's more conversations about what impact is this having on you and your emotional well-being, and what are the long-term impacts this is going to have on your children. I think there's just more conversation and awareness around that as well.
Agree. So then you decided this in an early age that this is what you were going to do.
Yes. So I went to, college, and I studied psychology. I was just fascinated with people and how they work, and knew that I was going to go to law school. And so knew I wanted to practice family law. So thought that would serve me well. And it did. And graduated from law school at Loyola. And I've been practicing family law in Charlotte for the past 13 years now.
And you've made quite the name for yourself because everybody knows you. If you're in Charlotte, you know Claire Samuels. That's all there is to it. And everyone's like, it's so funny because, my listeners all over the country, but in Charlotte, we all know Claire. So I'm so glad to have you, honey. Go ahead, keep going. So you're in you were with a pretty large firm, correct?
Yeah, I was. I practiced with a law firm here in Charlotte for 13 years and learned from some really incredible litigators. I have spent lots of time in the courtroom, but it was time for me to go out on my own. And there had been a whisper in my heart about having my own firm and doing divorce truly a different way. I'm not naive. I recognize that there are cases that the courtroom really is going to be the only option, but I'm committed to doing everything I can do to help my clients find a different way, and to be able to define what that looks like. To be able to define what that looks like on my terms. So I'm loving it. I am out on my own, and my name is on the shingle. And
congratulations. That's fantastic. Fantastic.
Thank you. It's been amazing. My clients came with me, which was fantastic. And we've just continued to rock and roll along like we were doing pre-pandemic, just doing it via Zoom and in different ways,
And I think you told me before the show, you have like a name I think you've created for the divorce that you'd like it to look like, right?
Yes. Yeah, tell us. It came from a couple of different things. I read the book Becoming by Michelle Obama,
how fantastic.
I loved that book. It was so great. And I was thinking about, what does this process look like? And there's so many people, we know, that are professionals who have been in this game for a long time and know that there is a better way to approach divorce. And there's lots of different ways people do that. I certainly am not the, pioneer of collaborative methods or other positive divorce movements. But here, and what I want to think about for my process is I wanted to call it a becoming divorce.
I love that.
It's not typically a word that you think of when you talk about divorce and the process that's associated with a family going through that. But I want that to change. And so, in terms of creating a becoming process, really redefining the way that divorce is done, letting people know that it can be done in a dignified, graceful way.
Well, you know you're in the right place, girl. You know you're in the right place when you're sitting here, because you know how I feel.
I know, right?
Now, did you trade? I think you should trademark that. Can you trademark that name?
I'm working on it. I'm working on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'd like to use it can I use it in the title of your show so people know, or it can, I'd love to be able to use it. I think it's fantastic.
Yes.
I love it.
Yes.
I love it.
But I am working on that.
Okay.
We'll chat, and maybe I just love the idea that you have a process that honors human relationships, that honors what this relationship once was. At some point in time, these people were really important to each other. And if they have children, they're going to have to continue to raise those children together.
Because I tell my clients all the time, you're just restructuring. That family unit is to be restructured. It's not necessarily that you're going division of everything, but you're just restructuring and regrouping.
And you did that. You did that with your family. Yeah, I think that's what people have to hear and to see, is that it's possible and it's happening.
Possible. Takes work. Yeah. But so does a marriage, right? So every relationship takes work. You have to put the work in. Yeah.
Exactly. And I think that, I'm part of the Charlotte Collaborative Divorce Professionals group, who is really trying to advance collaborative law in Charlotte, and don't think that is necessarily taken off, because I think that people think it's like soft law or not real law. Yeah. Or that it's going to be too kumbaya, or that we're going to be sitting around like braiding each other's hair.
I don't mind that, but it's okay.
It's not.
It's not, right?
No. It's hard,
It is hard. It is hard.
It's really hard. And, but there are things you can do to make it less damaging.
Yes.
Proceed with greater ease. How can you get on the other side of your divorce healthy, happy, and whole?
Absolutely. Will you do me a favor really quickly for my listeners who don't know what collaborative law is? Can you explain really quick? Do you mind?
Sure. So collaborative law was a process that was developed, probably 20, 30 plus years ago, but out in California, by two practitioners. And it's the idea of pulling together an integrative team of professionals to help the parties get through their divorce. And by team of professionals, that could include financial neutrals, child specialists, therapists, divorce coaches, any kind of resources that the couple and family might need. And there's an agreement at the outset that we are going to roll up our sleeves and do the tough work that has to be done, but come up with agreements to move our family forward and not go to the courtroom. Because
Love it.
The courthouse was not designed to, and this is what people don't think, that we as lawyers do a great job of educating our clients.
I was not educated. I didn't know this. Keep going. I love it.
Yeah. But our courts, they're built to resolve disputes between like Google and Apple or whatever, big corporate, but they weren't built, and they're not designed to resolve family disputes in a way. Our own judges will tell you that. It's like, do you want surgery with a scalpel or a machete? It's just, and
you're right though. You're so right. It's a great analogy.
Yeah. And, I think I get it. I've been through my own divorce. I've been through my parents' divorce. People are hurting. They're upset. They I mean, I think our natural human reaction is to want to punish, but our courts also weren't built to, not designed to, and don't provide the emotional justice that people think they're going to get. And so they just keep fighting for years, and they destroy their family and they deplete their financial resources. I mean, it's crazy the
It is
things that
crazy.
people will do to, or have to do because they're stuck in that, cycle. I mean, when you see people depleting college accounts for their
Oh my
kids,
gosh, right? And you just want to like scream. You want to be like, wait, hold on. But you know what I think,
right?
Claire? People don't know what they don't know.
That's
So if
right.
you go into a divorce and you walk into, whoever's office, they're not going to say, oh, by the way, just so you know, you can use collaborative, blah, blah, or you can use, no one tells you, like no one told me and my husband, by the way, you can, we had to figure it out for ourselves. But now you have so many resources like you, or you can hop online and you can say, oh, wait, what's collaborative law? Right. But
Right.
even 5 years ago in Charlotte, I didn't even know what collaborative law was.
Right.
So thank God someone said to me, Jen, by the way, did you know you can use a mediator instead of going to blah, blah, blah? Thank God.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah. And I think that we have, it's what, has kind of been the mindset and just the general thoughts surrounding divorce, that it has to be this knockdown drag out and
Right.
there's no other way. The reality is in every state, including ours, but every state across the country, typically the numbers are like 95, 97% of all cases get resolved without litigation.
Yes,
And in North Carolina, I mean, you're required to go to mediation before a court will ever even hear,
which is great,
your issues related to custody or even property division. So why not focus your efforts on the front end and trying to come up with, I mean, you can always have the backstop, right? There is the small percentage of cases that can't be resolved any other way for all kinds of reasons. People have mental health issues, or, definitely, you've got to have two people coming to the table, but you don't have to have two people who want to keep holding hands and go on group family vacations together. It doesn't have,
no, you don't.
No, I mean, you're still getting divorced. Like you're still feeling, I think that's the big misconception too, is that these alternative dispute resolution methods are only for the peaceful,
who are amicable
couples. I mean, that's just not true. Yeah. It's tough work. It is tough work.
But it's funny. I have clients that come to me and they're like, they don't know what. I'm like, just call Claire. I'm like, I've got someone for you. But it's true. I feel like if we can all, the divorce professionals can all kind of group together and have a nice little, I feel like we're kind of starting to do that. Do you feel that way? Like we're all starting to find each other a little bit more?
I do.
I have really CFAs I know, and I have divorce coaches that I work with, and I have, parenting coaches that I work with, and like with you, like mediators, we all kind of find each other. Don't you feel that way? Yeah.
No, I feel like that is definitely happening. And I think during this period of time where people have really been evaluating so much, like what's important to them, is this a marriage or a relationship that is sustainable? I mean, just during this time of reflection, I think that a lot of us professionals, same thing. I mean, that, people either think that I'm brilliant or crazy for starting my own firm in the middle of a pandemic. But I think that you get to a point where you decide what's really important to you. How do you want to handle it? And then you do start finding your tribe of professionals. And I've gotten closer to you during this time. I've also connected with some other amazing lawyers who I respect so much, who, like me, had the high conflict litigation practice for years and years, and they were just so done with it.
Right.
And because
it must be exhausting, Claire.
Yeah.
Wasn't it?
It's exhausting for everybody
I
that's
agree.
involved. And you know that at the end of the day, it's really not getting the best results
Absolutely not.
for families.
Right. Right.
So yeah, I have loved that. And I think that through that and different groups that I'm a part of in Charlotte and relationships like you were just saying that I've built, I think we all start to support each other and it doesn't feel like this weird thing or this different new thing. It's the best thing. And when clients start going through it, they're going to tell their friends
people,
there's a different way to do this.
Yes. And don't you feel like it's like so non-competitive? I used to feel like even 2 years ago that, everyone was so competitive in our field a little bit, like we're, but now we're all so, I feel like we all have the same purpose, the same common goal. It's all about the kids. Don't you feel that way? Like we're just all, we all look around and we're like, look, what can we do for the kids? What's the best for the kids? What's it, we all have this purpose, and it's so, it's almost so gratifying just to know that. Do you feel that way too? Or is it just me?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I mean, I think first of all, if you talk to people across our profession, we probably all got involved to some extent in what we do because we care about children. And what happens
yes, I agree.
And then I think that if you're practicing in this way, you're probably a little more enlightened in other ways where you kind of operate from a place of abundance. Okay. So I don't have to worry about competing, for clients or things like that. Cause, there's lots of people getting divorced, but more so than that, there's going to be a self-select process of the kind of clients that I can help and that want to work with me, and Absolutely. And then there'll be the clients who want to work with somebody else for some other reason. And there's plenty to go around. And I've gotten to a point in my life, it's a journey, it's a practice daily, but I mean, operate from a place of abundance and like, where can you give and where can you serve? And then all the rest of the stuff will work itself.
Absolutely. Can I ask your opinion on something?
Sure.
How do you feel about, I heard this is interesting. I can't remember what it was. They were calling instead of a parenting plan, they were calling it, someone called it a child plan, or instead of a parenting plan, because it's really not about the parents, it's about the children. Have you heard that recently?
I haven't, but I like it.
I thought it was so cool. Me too. It was like, so they called it, and I was in a meeting, they said something to me like, oh, you mean the child something plan? And I said, no, the parenting plan, right? And they're like, no, the child something. I was like, oh my God, that's so, isn't that interesting? I thought that was very cool, a very cool way to approach it. Cause now they're saying like, instead of co-parenting, it's really about child whatever, because it's not really about it's about the children. I thought that was interesting.
Well, I like that. I mean, and I think that that's where you have to go. You have to take, I was listening to something too the other day, and they were talking about, so many times we have to talk to our clients about what is the plan that truly works best for them. Like, people talk about wanting parents 50-50. And I certainly get that.
Wait,
but at the same time,
I lost you. They want what, 50-50?
They want 50-50, half.
Okay, yeah. Sure.
Everybody sees half as fair, whether it's week on, week off, or splitting the holidays. But really looking at your kids and seeing what serves them.
Right.
And I mean, when you're really looking at the holidays, what is it? I mean, yes, everybody wants to have some portion of time on this very specific holiday. But what's it like for your kid who might
we do that. We talk about things differently. We talk about it as it comes up. And our kids are older, so it's a little bit different. And my husband and I are pretty good friends. But like as the holiday approaches, we'll be like, so, what do you think the kids want to do for Christmas vacation? Do they want to go skiing? Do they want to stay with me? And then we kind of decide as it comes up, because what's best for the kids is really what's best.
That's so awesome.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's cool. Yeah. And we just and we also ask their input, and people think we're crazy, but I'll call them and I'll be like, guys, would you guys rather go to, would you rather go skiing with dad this break? Or do you think you want to just hang out with me? We're going to grandma's. And the guys, they'll say, well, Mom, we went skiing last year. And it's kind of just like, kind of works to get their input.
Yeah. And I mean, I think you're lucky.
Yes, I am lucky. Absolutely. Absolutely.
But
doesn't happen.
I also think that works for probably a couple of reasons. It works because your kids are older. It also works because you and your husband, I love that term.
We put our egos. We have no ego. We have no ego involved.
I love it. But you all have obviously created an environment that asking those kinds of questions isn't placing your kids in the middle. They know that what they say or how they respond is cool with you guys either way.
It's not going to affect our feelings. It's not going to hurt.
To choose. It's really different when people are like, well, they're asking their kids questions. And those kids don't feel free and safe to love the other parent. It puts them in a terrible position. But
absolutely. Yeah. So that's different. I'm lucky. Yeah.
Yes. Well, you're lucky, but I mean, it's obviously taken work.
Oh my gosh, so much work.
and a commitment to make it happen. And again, it doesn't mean that you have a perfect situation or that you forget, move. It doesn't mean that there's not pain associated with a family that's splitting up. But you are still a family, so how are you going to make that work?
Right. And I'll tell you, when they do choose to go skiing with my husband, it still, I'm like, oh crap, I got to be alone. And it doesn't make. It's just that I don't vocalize that, and I don't show them that that's the. You know what I'm saying? So it does take work. It does. It takes a lot of work, and it's not easy. But you're right. You're right. Yeah. So,
but it's worth it because
it is worth
it. I think that's the other thing. I mean, I think that it's what kind of legacy do you want to leave for your children? Like, what are they going to remember about their childhood and their parents' divorce? What's the story that they're going to tell? And
that's a good one.
I try to encourage my clients to think about that.
That's a great idea. That's great. I love that. Yeah. Because
they might have the story like my parents were the kooky people who like lived down the street from each other and we all whatever. But that's a much better story than I spent my high school years going to court, testifying, being evaluated by this expert, being evaluated by that expert.
Right. It's funny. I'll tell you a quick story. My son, Zach, always says, why do you guys talk so often? You're supposed to be divorced. I think to myself, you know what? One day that's going to be it for me. I'm like, but you're so right, Claire. You're so right. I think I'd rather have that than, the other. So it is what it is. I tell people, my clients, that divorces are like snowflakes. I say that quite often, that there's no two of them are the same or exactly alike. Right. So it's difficult.
And so I think it's important to find the professionals, whether it's lawyers, coaches, whoever, that can help you really craft what you need for your family.
Agree.
Based on what your family wants, needs, and all of that kind of stuff. Because that's exactly right. I mean, and there's only, if you take the litigation approach, there's only so much a judge can do, or they're well-meaning people and they work really hard and do their best to make decisions that are in the children's best interest and for families. But they have our courthouses are overcrowded, overburdened, and they just simply don't have the time to really hone in and focus on all the issues that impact families to come up with something that makes sense. They do the standard thing and the best that they can do. And then you're left to figure it out. And that's the other thing I talk about with my clients. I mean, the lawyers, like, we're going to go home. The judges are going to go home. The courthouse is going to be closed. I mean, and especially people have seen that in this pandemic. When the courthouse was truly closed, but for any kind of true emergency you had, what are you left to do, and how are you going to deal with your family? I mean,
I can't even imagine.
Yeah. I mean, why do you want to hand that over? You don't, I mean, it's like literally like going and tapping a stranger on the street and saying, what do you think I should do with my kids for Christmas? I mean, why would you do that?
No, why would you? Ever. I know, right? I'm like, I'm sweating thinking about it. I'll be honest with you. It just make the whole thing. It's just, oh no, 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 no. Oh my gosh, Claire. So what else can you, if there's another tidbit or a big takeaway, what do you think? Got anything else for me? Or
I mean, I think that when you are thinking about going through a divorce, or if you're just dealing with any of these family law related issues, thinking about what's important to you, think about what your goals are, what your values are, and try to find an attorney who will advocate with you in a way that aligns with your core values. Ask questions about the different processes that are available to you. Don't just be led down the same old traditional litigation path. That there might be other ways that can serve you. So I think just being aware of that and asking questions and thinking about what you want and what you want it to look like, and then finding a lawyer that can meet those needs and offer support to you in other ways is really important, because the hope is this is a really finite period of time.
That's so true, isn't it?
In your life. And like the goal is to get you through it so you can move on to your life. And this will be just a chapter. And for a lot of people, it can be a springboard to a much better life. It just looks different, but and your kids aren't going to be damaged because you got divorced. Your kids are damaged. All the studies will show you the kids are damaged by being exposed to high conflict, whether that's in their home or through their parents' divorce.
Say that again. Say that again. Did you guys hear that, listeners? Your kids are not damaged by a divorce. They're damaged by high conflict, either in a marriage or a divorce. It's the conflict that causes the damage, not the divorce. So that's exactly right.
That's right.
Everyone knows that. That's the research. So
yeah. And so give your kids the gift of a good divorce and a good life, and give your gift.
Yes, give yourself a gift.
Something that's horrible for you or your children. I mean, but approach it in a way that lets you not play out the next couple of years in courtrooms and spending, 529 plans on lawyers. Deal with the financial stuff you need to deal with and move on with your life.
Absolutely. So Claire, people, obviously we can find you for, advice, but people can only use you in North Carolina, correct?
Yeah, I'm licensed in North Carolina and Kansas and Missouri, but I
didn't know that.
There's
okay.
crazy people that like taking a bar exam every year after my after I graduated from law school. But I landed in North Carolina, and my practice is here. So yeah.
Okay. So, but people, can they reach out to you for just advice or no?
Yeah, they can certainly reach out if they'd like to schedule a consultation to either talk about retaining me as an attorney, or I also serve as a mediator. I was trained here locally and then recently received a 40-hour certification from our friend Susan Guthrie. And
I didn't know that.
Yes.
Fantastic. We love Susan.
Oh, Susan's like a shero of mine.
Yes.
I adore her. And Woody is he is the, father of media needs. So to have training with the two of them was just incredible. So I can serve as a mediator in North Carolina, but online anywhere. So
great. Yeah. So we'll have all that in the show notes.
Yeah. That'd be
where's the easiest place to find you?
Website is clairesamuelslaw.com. Super easy. And all of my contact information is there, and you can fill out information where we'll be in touch with you to schedule a consultation if that's how you'd like to move forward. And I'm always willing to explore all these options with clients and let them know what's available to them.
That's right. Because I think when you don't know, you don't know. And now if you listen to this episode, you know. So there's no more not knowing, everybody. That's exactly what I think. How about that? Right, Claire?
So good. Yeah.
That's so good. I love it. Everybody, thank you for being here. Claire, I'm so glad you're here today. I cannot even tell you. It's been such a pleasure to have you. You're fantastic. Once again, Claire Samuels. It's clairesamuelslaw.com. Correct, Claire?
Yeah, that's right.
Awesome. Thank you. Everybody have a great afternoon.
Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, I loved having you, honey. I loved
your
it.
show.
Oh,
and
thank
you're
you.
so fun and so funny. And I know you give so many good resources to my clients.
Oh, thanks, honey.
They love to tune in and get the tidbits, and you're offering the good stuff when they're going through their divorce,
Thanks,
and the stuff when they're not. So
I love it. Thank you.
Always fun to listen to.
And I thanks, darling. Thank you. I love doing this. I love it. But everybody, so you know where to find me. JenniferHurwitz.com. On Instagram, it's Doing Divorce Right. And on Facebook, it's Jennifer Hurwitz Biz. You can join my Facebook group, Doing Divorce Right Podcast. Grab a book, do some reading, whatever. Have a great afternoon. Do something fun today. And as always, peace, love, and so much truth, you guys. Have a great, fabulous day. Bye. Hey, thanks for listening to Doing Divorce Right. Don't forget, if you love the show, subscribe, rate, and review anywhere you get your episodes. And grab my books, One Happy Divorce and Woulda, Coulda, Shoulda, on Amazon, Target.com, or my website, JenniferHurwitz.com. As usual, thanks for listening. And we'll see you next week. Peace, love, and truth.